They told her, endure. Marriage is not easy. They did not know she was enduring a monster. What happened next will shock you.
That morning started quietly. Nkiru woke up early. She cooked. She cleaned. She moved carefully around the house. She was doing everything right. But with a monster, doing everything right is never enough. That evening, Emeka came home late. The moment he stepped inside, the air changed. His face was dark. His steps were heavy. Nkiru felt it in her chest. Trouble had entered the house. "What kind of food is this?" Emeka shouted. Before Nkiru could speak, the plate hit the floor. It broke loudly. The sound filled the house. Nkiru froze. Her heart started beating fast. "Let's talk," Nkiru said softly. That was the wrong thing to say. Emeka moved fast. His hand came hard. Nkiru lost her balance. The room spun. She hit the floor with her back. Pain shot through her body. She gasped for air. Emeka stood over her, angry, breathing. The charger on the wall did not blink. It recorded everything. The shouting, the fear, the truth. Nkiru lay there shaking. Her body felt heavy. Her vision became blurry. Something warm touched her lip. Blood. Her strength was leaving her. Emeka stepped back. For a moment, fear crossed his face. Then he turned away. He picked his phone and walked out. He left her there, on the floor, alone. After some time, Nkiru opened her eyes. The ceiling was spinning. Using the wall, she dragged herself up. Her legs were shaking. She crawled into the bedroom. Every movement hurt, but she refused to lie there and die. Nkiru locked the door. She sat on the bed. Her body was broken. Her heart was pounding. The room was silent. Only her weak breathing could be heard. Her eyes fell on the small camera near the wardrobe. It was still there, still watching, still recording. Tears filled her eyes. "You saw everything," she whispered. As morning light entered the room, Nkiru sat up. Her body was in pain, but her mind was clear. This was not marriage. This was not anger. This was an attempt on her life. If she stayed silent after this, there would be no next time. Nkiru took a deep breath. She would no longer protect the monster. She would protect herself. The camera had done its job. The morning came slowly. Nkiru sat on the edge of the bed. Her body was in pain. Her face was tired, but her eyes were clear. She was alive, and that alone meant something. Nkiru held her phone with both hands. She pressed play. Her own voice filled the room. Her own cries. She watched herself on the floor. Her chest tightened, but she did not look away. She watched everything. Nkiru stood by the window. Sunlight touched her face. She took a deep breath. This was no longer about marriage. This was about survival. She whispered, "Enough." Nkiru sat back on the bed. Her fingers hovered over the screen. Her heart beat fast. Then she pressed send. The truth left her phone, and there was no going back. More videos followed, one after another. To his family, to his closest friend. Each message felt heavy, but each one lifted a weight from her chest. Nkiru placed the phone beside her. She sat quietly on the sofa. Her hands were clasped together. The house was silent, too silent.
She waited. The phone started vibrating. One call, then another. Messages poured in. Nkiru looked at the screen. She did not answer yet. For the first time, she was not the one chasing peace. Nkiru covered her mouth. Tears rolled down her face. Not tears of fear, tears of release. She was no longer alone. In the same house, Emeka sat comfortably, scrolling through his phone. Relaxed, confident. He did not know. The truth had already arrived where it mattered. Nkiru stood in the living room. Her phone was in her hand. Her shoulders were straight. Her eyes were calm. The truth was no longer trapped in that house. It was out. And once the truth leaves your hands, it never comes back quiet. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Nkiru walked into the compound slowly. Her heart was beating fast, but her face was calm. This was not a visit. This was a moment of truth. Everyone was seated in the living room. Nkiru sat quietly on one side. Emeka sat across from her, stiff, silent. His mother sat beside him, strong woman, proud woman, but even she looked uneasy. The air was heavy. No greetings, no jokes, only waiting. A phone was placed on the center table, small, silent, but powerful. Nkiru's hands rested on her lap. They trembled slightly. This phone carried pain, years of pain. The video started playing. No one spoke. Emeka's voice filled the room, angry, cruel. Nkiru's cries followed, soft, broken. Emeka's mother covered her mouth. Her eyes widened. This was not a story. This was her son. Emeka stood up suddenly. "This is not how it looks," he said. His voice shook. Nobody answered him. The video kept playing. Truth does not argue. Emeka's mother leaned back on the sofa. Tears filled her eyes. Her glasses slipped down slightly. "My God," she whispered. She could not defend this. Nkiru stood up slowly. Her voice was calm, but strong. "I did not want this," she said. "I begged. I endured." Her eyes did not cry. "I almost died." The room went silent. No one spoke. Not Emeka, not his family. Emeka sat down slowly. His head dropped. The monster had no place to hide. The elders leaned together. Voices were low, serious. This could not continue. Not after this. They looked at Emeka. They looked at Nkiru. A decision was coming. Nkiru sat quietly. Her shoulders were straight. Emeka looked small, ashamed. His mother wiped her tears. The lie was broken. The truth was now in the open. And once the truth enters a room, nothing ever stays the same again. The room was quiet. No shouting, no arguments, just silence. Nkiru sat calmly on the sofa. Emeka sat across from her. His shoulders were low. His eyes avoided hers. The truth had already spoken. The elders leaned closer to each other. Their voices were low. This was no longer family talk. This was a serious matter. Emeka rubbed his palms together. Nkiru sat still. She had said enough already. A paper was placed on the table. Beside it was a pen. The room focused on that paper. That paper carried rules. That paper carried consequences. An elder began to read. Every word was clear. No beating, no threats, no locking her inside.
If Emeka tried again, the truth would go everywhere. Emeka's face tightened. Nkiru listened quietly. Emeka stood up slowly. He nodded. His voice was low when he spoke. "I understand," he said. Fear sat behind his eyes. For the first time, the monster felt watched. Nkiru stood. Her voice was calm. "I only want peace," she said. "I want to live. Nothing more, nothing less." The room went still again. Emeka picked up the pen. His hand shook. Then he signed. The sound of the pen on paper was loud. That signature changed everything. An elder raised his hand. "This is the last warning," he said. "If you break this agreement, there will be no hiding place." Emeka nodded again, slowly. Everyone sat back. The tension reduced, but peace had not entered yet. Only control. Nkiru watched quietly. She knew calm could be fake. Nkiru stood up and walked away. Her back was straight. Emeka remained seated, smaller, quieter. The rules were set. But monsters do not change easily. Sometimes they only... After the family meeting, the house became quiet. Too quiet. Emeka stopped shouting. He stopped slamming doors. He stopped raising his hands. For the first time in a long while, the house felt calm. On the outside, Emeka woke up early. He dressed neatly. He spoke softly. "Good morning," he said one day. Nkiru looked up slowly. "Good morning," she replied. It felt strange. Emeka began to act like a new man. He ate quietly. He kept to himself. When he got angry, he walked away. Sometimes he even smiled. People noticed. Neighbors said, "Mary is better now." Emeka's mother called Nkiru. "My daughter," she said, "thank you for your patience." Nkiru listened, but she did not relax. She had learned something important. Peace that comes from fear is not real peace. At home, Emeka followed the rules, but his eyes had changed. They watched Nkiru too closely. When she spoke on the phone, he listened. When she smiled, he wondered why. One evening, Emeka came home early. Nkiru was in the kitchen. He stood at the door and watched her. "You are very calm now," he said. Nkiru nodded. "I just want peace," she replied. Emeka smiled, but the smile did not reach his eyes. Days passed. No beatings, no shouting, but the air felt tight, like a rope pulled too hard. Nkiru kept her distance. She kept her phone close. She kept the agreement in her mind. The cameras were still there, watching, recording, waiting. One night, Emeka sat beside her on the sofa. "You know I have changed," he said. Nkiru did not answer quickly. "I hope so," she replied. Emeka laughed softly. "You women like drama," he said. Nkiru stood up. "I'm tired," she said. "I want to sleep." She walked away. Behind her, Emeka's face hardened. That night, Nkiru lay on the bed awake. The house was quiet, too quiet. Her heart beat slowly, not from fear, from awareness. She knew this calm was not healing. It was control. It was waiting. Monsters do not always roar. Sometimes they pretend. The calm did not last. It never does. That evening, Emeka came home late. His face was tight. His steps were heavy. The same signs. Nkiru felt it before he spoke. "You think you have won?" Emeka said quietly. Nkiru looked up from where she was sitting. "I just want peace," she replied. Emeka laughed, a short, bitter laugh. "You embarrassed me," he said, "in front of my family." Nkiru stood up slowly. "I told the truth," she said. That was when Emeka lost control. He moved fast, too fast. He grabbed her arm hard. Pain shot through Nkiru's body. Fear rushed in, but something else came with it. Memory. She remembered the flow, enough for Emeka to realize something new. Nkiru was no longer helpless. She pushed him away again. "Stay away from me," she shouted. Her voice filled the house. For the first time, it was Emeka who stepped back, breathing hard, eyes wide. He saw it, the fear, not in her, in himself. The monster had met a wall. Nkiru stood there, shaking. Tears streamed down her face, not tears of weakness, tears of release. "I warned you," she said. "I told you not to touch me." Emeka said nothing. He backed away slowly. The house was silent, heavy. The cameras watched everything, every movement, every word. Nkiru did not.
Morning came quietly. Sunlight entered the house like it always did. But this time, something was different. Nkiru woke up without fear. Her body still ached. Her heart still felt heavy. But she was alive, and she was free inside. She sat on the bed for a long time, thinking, remembering. She remembered the slaps, the insults, the nights she cried silently. She remembered how close she came to dying, and she remembered the moment she stood her ground. That morning, Emeka did not speak to her. He moved around the house carefully, like someone who knew he had lost control. Nkiru watched him quietly. There was no anger in her eyes, only clarity. Later that day, the families returned, not for talking, for action. Emeka's mother walked into the house slowly. Her eyes were tired. Her pride was gone. She stood in front of Nkiru, and for the first time, she knelt. "I failed you," she said softly. Tears rolled down her face. "I protected my son when I should have protected you." Nkiru said nothing. She did not need revenge from words. The truth had already spoken. The elders sat down. Decisions were made. Clear decisions. Emeka was warned one final time. If he ever touched her again, everything would be released. His church, his workplace, everyone. Silence is not peace. Endurance is not love. And marriage is not a prison. A woman who speaks up is not breaking her home. She is saving her life. No one has the right to hurt you in the name of love. No tradition, no title, no marriage is greater than your life. Courage does not always shout. Sometimes courage is standing up after you almost died. And when a woman chooses herself, she does not lose anything important. She gains her life back.